Duane, what do you make of their earnings announcement?
Well, first of all, who would have ever thought that 2 years after Ackman's big speech, we would still be talking about Herbalife earnings and Herbalife in general? Most people were hardly even talking about the company before. But earnings yesterday, I mean, at first blush, you had, the stock trading up as people saw them beat on that quarterly number. But, of course, who really cares about quarterly numbers? What really matters is what's going to happen over the next year. And in that regard, Herbalife turned in a forecast that people felt was a lot lighter than they expected, even though they did expect it to come down. And so the question remains whether this business, the momentum in this business, has been killed by Ackman, and whether they can somehow turn that around.
Duane, one of the problems here appears to be that it's taking investors a long time to figure out what's really going on, to sort through the numbers and to come to some at least firm opinions. The stock opened the day down, but only fractionally, right? 1.5%, which is sort of the daily volatility in a stock like Herbalife. Now it's down more than 7%, and it keeps falling.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that there's very many people in this for sort of a traditional long-term play. I mean, it's pretty clear there's a good bit of speculation, day trading in this stock, people playing these ebbs and flows and playing the news as soon as it's out. But you know what? It is very difficult for anybody to make any really concrete prediction about where this company will go as long as you have this major regulatory overhang. You've had a 2-year campaign by Bill Ackman, and how many companies could withstand the kind of relentless pursuit of a Bill Ackman in basically saying that the company is a fraud? And then couple that with this criminal investigative demand and this investigation by the federal government, and no one's really clear where that might go. Will they get a slap on the wrist, or will they be shut down? So it'd be very difficult for anyone to really decide how these earnings play out over the next year, the next 2 years, without some sort of resolution there.
Duane, have we heard from Tim Ramey, who's been an outspoken bull? He was an independent analyst, worked for Bill Stieritz, who has been hugely bullish on Herbalife. And have we heard from Bill Stieritz, at this point, one of their biggest investors?
Yeah, well, Bill Stieritz is still in the stock. He added to his position, from what we understand, last year, and is still as committed as ever. Tim Ramey, he appears from his notes to still believe that the company is viable long term, although he's revised his numbers down, as have other analysts. And again, I think the analysts in some ways are flying blind long term because they don't have any more clarity than anyone else as to what the FTC is going to do. Now, on various sides of the argument, you've got those who believe that the government is really, perhaps in some of what's happening behind the scenes with questioning witnesses and such, are really, perhaps preparing some sort of significant case against Herbalife, and then others who read it completely the other way.
What about
FTC,
currency?
Of course, has been very silent.
Take the Bill Ackman situation aside. Let's say they are living on the straight and narrow, just trying to sell nutritional supplements. What are the currency headwinds doing to them?
Yeah, the currency has been real difficult for them, obviously, this quarter. That's a lot of what's impacting the results for next year. They did talk about several markets like Mexico, Korea, Brazil, U.S. being markets that they felt underperformed. Even, they don't have the same currency issues, and those underperformed. A lot of the other markets, they seem to be saying really are currency related, and they have less concerns about those. And then, of course, China and EMEA, that unit, both of which they've made some changes in the business that they believe are flowing through positively. They say some of the results they saw this quarter look good from that perspective. So, you absolutely have currency weighing down on this company, but also you've got a few markets that are showing trouble beyond that.
Well, the stock is being weighed down over 7% on the day.